Hayag sa paghahatid ng news,
Public service,
entertainment,
music,
information at inspiration para sa bawat kapatid, bawat Pilipino. Ito ang 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Mainit at makabuluhang talakayan tungkol sa sports, kumpleto yan dito sa Power and Play. Mula sa mga paborito at naglalakihang atleta hanggang sa mga natatanging Pinoy sports figures na dapat nyong makilala. Ihahatid yan dito sa Power and Play.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at huwag magpatalo, ipagdiwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulot, sumbe, sibay, lakay, amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa. Sa kapwa ko Pilipino.
An end of an era and the beginning of a new one. Para nga daw po ang sports, gulong ng buhay, paikot-ikot lang. Yan po ang ating pag-usapan ngayong Sabado ng umaga. Di paano? Bango na! Power and Play na! Power and Play with Noli, Eala. Isa pong magandang umaga sa inyo lahat, mga kapatid. Nagmumula po sa isang remote area. Medyo tayo po ay tinitake, pero tayo po ay makakasama nyo lang 2 oras ngayong Sabado ng umaga. Ito po ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo, of course, ng Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum, Cherry Tigo. There's more to our cars. Chooks to go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. And ang ating pinakabagong kasama sa ating pong Power and Play family, ang Arena Plus Astig sa sports. Of course, kasama pa rin po natin ang Smart Live More Today. Nako kamusta po kayong lahat? Nako, nasa halos kalagitnaan na naman tayo ng Disyembre. Palapit na ng palapit ang araw ng Kapaskuhan. 18 days to go bago po ang Pasko. Sana po ay patuloy na tayo naghahanda. Hindi lamang sa pamamagitan ng pagbili ng mga regalo at pagbibili ng mga damit para sa ating sarili, kung hindi po paghahanda spiritual para po sa pagtanggap ng ating Panginoong Jesus na siya namang rason nito pong season na ito. Talking about the season, isa pa pong medyo mag-iingat tayo ngayong mga araw na ito. Tumataas daw po ang mga kaso ng flu, flu-like symptoms, pati na po ang kaso ng mga pneumonia. Sabi nila meron daw bagong strain ng COVID. Sana nga hindi naman ho. Pero tayo po ay mas mabuti sa mabuti ang gawin, no? Tayo po'y mag-ingat, ibalik po natin ang ating face mask kung kailangan, lalong-lalo tayo po'y pupunta sa mga lugar na napakaraming tao o di kaya ay merong konting nararamdaman na. Kaya po yung ating immune system, palakasin natin. Ngayong Kapaskuhan, usually itong December, ang dami hong mga party. Kaya minsan napupuyat tayo o di kaya masama ang ating dieta. Naku, pinag-uusapan yung dieta talagang delikado pagka December. Marami daw nais-stroke dyan dahil sa dami na kinakain. Sana naman hindi. Pero kung tayo po hindi makakaiwas, kahit pa paano po mag-supplement tayo para lumakas pa ang ating immunity system at ang immune system po natin para naman tayo ay hindi magkasakit at maging handa po tayo sa mga pagbabago ng panahon. Talking about pagbabago ng panahon, mga kapatid, kagaya na nabanggit ko kanina sa ating opening, a beginning of a new era and the end of one. Ano po ang pinag-uusapan natin yan? Well, nangyari po yan kamakailan sa UAAP, kung saan nagwakas po ang era ng National University Bulldogs, yung women's basketball, na siyang naghari po, nagreyna ang women's basketball team ng NU ng 7 taon. Well, pinigil na po yan ng UST Golden Tigresses para po mapanalunan ng kanilang kauna-unahang corona in 17 years. At natapos nga po yung dynastiya ng NU. In the meantime, ang UST po ay umalagwa na doon sa kanilang tabla ng FEU sa pinakamaraming women's basketball title sa UAAP. In the meantime, meron naman hong bagong era na tila umuusbong. Ito po ang pagkapanalo ng De La Salle University Green Archers kontra ng UP Fighting Maroons. Top seed versus the second seed. What an explosive series. Sa harap po ng mahigit 25,000 fans at mga supporters nila, nagwagi ang Green Archers by 4 in game number 3 to take their first title in 7 years. Grabe. Grabe din ho yung laban na yun. Atin pong pag-uusapan yan maya-maya, kaya marami pa po tayong na kwentuhan dito. Mamaya rin po makakausap natin mismo ang commissioner ng PBA, si Com Willie Marshall, para po pag-usapan ang mga unang assessment niya sa bagong komperensya and of course bagong season ng PBA. Mamaya po yan ha. At atin din po makakausap ang bagong import naman ng NLEX Road Warriors na si Stokely Shafee Jr. Naku, batang-bata itong import na to. Siya kaya ang magiging sagot sa mga problema ng NLEX o siya ay placeholder lamang at meron pang parating para naman sa koponan ng Road Warriors. Plus of course, kagaya na nabanggit natin kanina, ang victorious UST women's team sa basketball ang ating makakapanayam din mamaya para pag-usapan ang kanilang historic victory kontra NU Lady Bulldogs. So, simulan na po natin ang ating huntahan. Siyempre, wag po kayong aalis. Ang dami nating makakausap, ang dami nating pag-uusapan, at marami pa rin premyong ipamimigay dito po sa Power and Play. Simulan na natin sa ating Sports Weekly Highlights.
Power and Play with Noli, Eala.
Kagaya na nabanggit ko, back on top ang De La Salle Green Archers matapos takasan ng UP Fighting Maroons 73-69 sa Game 3 ng UAAP Men's Basketball Finals. Ito ang unang title ng DLSU mula 2016. Kinuronahang Finals MVP si Season MVP Kevin Kembao sa likod ng 14.7 points, 9.3 rebounds, 2.3 assists at 2 blocks sa serye. Si KQ ang unang manlalaro na nanalo ni Arwin Santos noong 2004. Congrats to De La Salle University. Animo La Salle! Samantala, end of a dynasty naman ang nangyari sa Women's Basketball Finals sa UAAP. Tinuldukan na ng UST Growling Tigresses ang paghahari ng NU Lady Bulldogs sa likod ng comeback win sa Game 3, 71-69. Naghabol ng 14 points ang UST papasok ng fourth quarter, pero nabural nila yan sa likod ng 24-8 finishing run sa huling yugto. Naipasok ni Nikki Villasin ang game-winning basket sa likod ng isang breakaway layup sa crunch time. Ito ang unang title ng UST mula 2006. Congratulations sa UST Growling Tigresses. Go, Uste! At sa PBA naman, unbeaten pa rin at solo sa itaas ng ranking ang Magnolia Hotshots. Huli nilang biktima ang Blackwater Bossing 105-84 para sa ika-6 na panalo. Patuloy na nagpakitang gilas si Magnolia import Tyler Bay na may 26 points at 22 rebounds sa latest outing. Sunod na makakalaban na Magnolia ang San Miguel Beermen bukas. Sa ibang basketball news, wala pa raw sa plano ni MPBL MVP Justin Baltazar na magpa-draft sa PBA. Ayon sa report ng Spin.ph, magtutuloy muna raw maglaro para sa Pampanga Giant Lanterns ang star forward at former Gilas player. Baka raw kasi mahirapan ng Pampanga team kapag bigla siyang umalis at hindi madepensahan ang kanilang corona. Matatandaang nanalo po ang Pampanga sa kakatapos lamang na MPBL National Finals. At sa EASL naman, tuloy-tuloy ang slump ng TNT Tropang Giga sa regional tournament. Si Ren Sabando at ang Anyang Jongkwan ang huling nagpalasap ng talo sa TNT 105-97. Gumawa ng 13 puntos ang Gilas Pilipinas forward sa laban. Ito na ang ika-4 na talo ng Tropang Giga sa EASL at nanganganib malaglag sa elimination round. At yan po ang mga buod ng ating mga balita this week sa ating pong Sports Weekly Highlights. Naku talagang hindi ko maintindihan kung ano nangyayari sa mga PBA teams pagdating sa EASL. Di ko alam kung kulang ba sa motivation, walang of course malaki ang premyo diyan no? Or masyadong nadidivide ang focus. Kasi alam naman natin sa PBA isang import lamang, pagdating sa EASL dalawa po ang import ng EASL. So again, nag-iiba po ang laro ng parehong kupunan natin dyan sa EASL. So again, many adjustments maaari ang magawa dyan para po gumanda pa ang kanilang paglalaro. But talking about magandang laro, of course, nakita po natin ang magandang Game 3 ng UAAP ngayon pong linggong ito kung saan again nanalo po ang Lasal. At yan po ang ating magiging topic sa ating Pulso ng Bayan. Hatid po sa inyo ng M2T Drinks with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay and fuel up on energy with M2T Drinks. At ito po ang ating pupulsohan patungkol po ito sa katatapos lamang na UAAP Finals. Sa tingin niyo po, ano naging susi sa pagkapanalo ng DLSU ng UAAP Men's Basketball title kontra UP? Ulitin ko po yan. Alam naman natin na UP po ang top seed at favorite para manalo. Pero ano po sa tingin niyo naging susi na ang Lasal pa ang nagwagi in a comeback of a victory sa serye nila kontra UP? Kung gusto niyo pong makilahok, magpadala lamang po ng inyong kuro-kuro sa aking pong Twitter account at Noli Eala o di kaya sa aming pong Facebook page ng Power and Play. At mamaya po kami pipili ng magagandang sagot para po mabigyan ng M2T Drinks with malunggay, okra, and luya courtesy of Nature Earth. Alright, hindi pa po tayo tapos na sa pamimigay ng ating mga premyo dito po sa Power and Play tuwing Sabado. And of course, mula po sa inyong paboritong Joyride Super App, the #1 ride-hailing app ng ating bansa, mga kapatid. Ang Joyride po ay si taxi sa Joyride Car at ngayon po yung Joyride Taxi Cab at ngayon po sa Super Taxi ng Joyride Super App. Napakadali lamang po i-download ang latest version ng Joyride Super App. Makikita nyo po yung QR code. Kuhanan ng screenshot ang app's home screen. Isama nyo po yung inyong account name. Ipadala ang screenshot sa Power and Play FB page via PM. Isama nyo po ang inyong buong pangalan at registered mobile number. At kami po ipipili ng 5 mananalo ng 1,000 pesos JR Pay Wallet Credits mula sa Joyride Super App. Ang bago ninyong kasundo. At hindi pa po yan nagtatapos ang premyo mula sa Joyride. Patuloy po tayo nagbibigay ng Joyride Limited Edition Aqua Flask. Naku, napaka-handy, napaka-practical ito pong Aqua Flask. Magagamit ninyo kapag kayo po ay babiyahe ngayong Kapaskuhan, lalong-lalo na kung kayo magbabakasyon. Simpleng-simple lamang po para mapanalunan yan. Again, after you have downloaded the Joyride Super App, kayo po ay mag-book ng isang MC taxi or Joyride car. At pagka nakasakay na po kayo, kuhanan nyo po ng isang creative picture kasama po yung driver or rider at kasama po kayo. At ipadala nyo po sa Power and Play FB page na may kasamang hashtag of the week. At kami po ipipili ng mananalo, kasama na po yung pasahero at yung driver or rider partner. At ito po ang ating hashtag of the week, mga kapatid. Ang ating pong hashtag of the week ngayon ay hashtag Joyride Holiday. Naku, ang ganda. Parang Paskong-Pasko na. Hashtag Joyride Holiday. Sama nyo po yan dun sa inyong creative picture to win the limited edition Joyride Aqua Flask. Alright, we are ready sa ating pong puntahan. Siyempre, simulan natin sa inyong paboritong Fast Take.
Power and Play with Noli, Eala.
At ang Fast Take ay hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo, there's more to our cars. At ngayong araw pong ito, again, mga balik Fast Takers po, mga suki ng Power and Play at mga kaibigan po natin sa sports media. Walang iba kung hindi si Luisa Morales ng Philippine Star and of course, si Ivan Suing ng Daily Tribune. Magandang araw, Luisa and Ivan. Thank you for joining us today.
Magandang araw po. Magandang araw, Ivan.
Nako, Merry Christmas sa inyong dalawa. Sana'y magkita tayo sa inyong Christmas party at makapag-celebrate naman tayo. Imbitahin nyo naman ako sa Christmas party ninyo.
Oo naman po, syempre.
Before anything else, alam natin ang nangyari dyan sa UAAP. And I'll begin with you, Luisa. No? Obviously, ang Lasal is very, very thrilled about this. It was almost unexpected. Alam naman natin na it was UP that was a heavy favorite this year dahil napakalakas ng kanilang koponan. Ang dami palang na-recruit. So I want to ask you from UAA perspective of UP. Is this, how frustrating is this? Does this blow up their program at all? Or ito ba sa tingin mo bump on the road lamang para sa Fighting Maroons?
Sa tingin ko po kung it's just gonna be a bump on the road. We talked to Coach Goldwyn yesterday after the loss, no? And looking at back-to-back seasons na kumbaga second placers, no? Bridesmaid finish, but I think at the end of the day it's gonna be a motivation lang. Siguro lumabas lang din po at the end of it, especially with one of our rookies, si Francis Lopez. Siguro lumabas na lang din yung inexperience. So hopefully yung last 2 seasons ay talagang maka-motivate sa kanila, and next year ay tuloy na sana.
Alright, well, alam naman natin kung gaano kagaling si Coach Goldwyn, and of course ang program ng UP ay napakatindi, no? That's why nga ang daming gustong sumali dyan. Ivan, obviously there are going to be some question marks pagdating next year, particularly with some players. But I want to talk about, of course, the recent announcement ni Kai Balungay na siya ay paalis na. Do you think ito ay magiging trendsetter na ngayon sa UAAP? Almost one and done or two and done, at hindi na makakabuo talaga ng programa. Kasi nung araw, parang ang isang school, meron silang 4-year program, di ba? Na secure sila sa mga player nila na sana umabot ng senior year. Pero ngayon parang after 1 or 2 years, dahil nga sa attraction ng pro ranks, umaalis na sila. Sa tingin mo pa, this is a blow to the school program the program of schools pagdating sa sports?
I don't think naman po, kasi while yes, the allure of playing overseas, whether in Japan or Korea, is inevitable, meron naman po silang, the schools will be able to replenish din naman din po. For example, Ateneo, they have a lot of we've known na maging talaga program nila, and they'll be recruiting a lot more in the off season. So it's not a matter of if will this blow up. It's a matter of how they can build from that loss and try to mesh everything together come the next season.
Oh well, I actually agree with you. Although it becomes a little more challenging para sa mga schools. So, alam mo, may nakausap ako isang coach na he's handling an NCAA team, no? At yung team B nila, napakalalim na. Sobrang dami ng players. And I think that's what's going to happen. Parang nagsa-stockpile na ng talents ang mga schools, and in the of course in the chance na may mga mawalang Team A players at kailangan nila ng kapalit. So again, it becomes very competitive pagdating sa recruitment. At sana naman kahit papaano hindi na masyadong maging competitive in terms of ching-ching yung mga pera-pera na binibigay dyan. Kasi siyempre collegiate pa rin ito, and at the end of the day, they are still amateurs. Alright, let's go to our fast take issues of the day. Nako marami tayong pag-uusapan dito. Alam nyo na ang drill, bato-bato sa langit, tamaan, wag magagalit, and of course, walang tama, walang mali. Ang opinion nyo lamang ang mahalaga. You have 1 minute to answer each of the questions, and we begin with the first one. Ito ay patungkol sa NBA in what has been a very brilliant innovation ni Commissioner Adam Silver. Itong tinatawag nilang in-season tournament, kung saan talaga namang nakita natin kung nagpakamatay yung mga players just to get to Las Vegas, and we are now in the final stages of the in-season tournament. Pero meron pa rin may konting mga reklamo, particularly about yung tinatawag nilang yung quotient system. Mukhang nirereklamo yan. Plus of course, yung mga uncertainty noong scheduling. So ang tanong, dapat bang dagdagan pa ang incentive sa mga sumusunod na NBA in-season tournament, o mga iba pang innovation, o tama lang ang current format? I'll begin with you, Luisa. 1 minute, go!
And siguro po kung looking at it right now, no, kasi kumbaga this is just a test run for the new idea, no, and so far it's been garnering results. We've seen a lot of good games among the teams and even surprises along the way, katulad ng run ng Indiana Pacers right now, ano. I don't think may need din to have much of an incentive in a sense, kasi it doesn't really add any games to a team schedule. Parang in a sense, you dagdag trophy lang, dagdag prize money sometimes, pero hindi rin na masyadong nagdadagdag ng trabaho mo. But of course, it wouldn't really hurt to add more, kumbaga parang pakinang, no, dun sa season tournament. Siguro looking at it right now, maybe they could explore some bonuses in a sense when it comes to the postseason. No, say for example, mabigyan sila ng assured home court advantage, for example, with the playoffs regarding their or maybe sa draft lottery din po. Let's see what the NBA can do.
Maganda yan. That's a very nice suggestion. Na sana nga magkaroon pa ng dagdag for the postseason, yung main tournament pa. Maganda yan. Ivan, same issue. Dapat bang dagdagan pa ng incentive ang mga player para lalo pa lumaro sa kanilang NBA in-season tournament, o dagdagan pa ng mga innovations, o tama lang itong current format? 1 minute, Ivan. Go!
I have to agree with Luisa. As of now, okay pa naman po yung in-season tournament ng NBA. It brings about a certain level of uncertainty to the league, kasi being na ito'y integrated sa league schedule, talagang any team can have its day din. So let's say when a team na usually hindi naman na wouldn't do much well sa league could make an incredible run dito sa NBA in-season tournament, and if in terms of incentives, that's something that they have to analyze then to make sure that everybody's happy, and not only the fans but also the players.
Well, I cannot agree more. Whatever it is, ano bang forma nitong NBA season na ginagawa ngayon, it has been successful. I think wala tayong duda dyan. More than anything else, of course, what I like about it is there are teams na maaaring hindi natin makita sa NBA Finals, maaaring hindi pa natin nakikita ito, kagaya ng New Orleans Pelicans. Isipin mo naman yun. Never pa natin nakita yan in a meaningful NBA playoff series. And yet, sila ay nasa in-season tournament all the way to Las Vegas. So it is something that has really proven na merong dating yung kanilang in-season tournament. Yeah. What I like about it, and I think Luisa and you are right, Ivan, pwede pang improve, but that's the thing of the beauty with the NBA. Talagang hindi sila tumitigil sa pag-iisip kung paano papabutihin pa ang kanilang games, even in a month na medyo wala pang meaning itong November-December games.
Yes.
Alright, let's go to our second issue of the day. Nako, balikan natin ang UAAP at yung issue about players leaving a team kahit na nag-champion, ha? Alright. So ito ang ating tanong sa ating second issue. Sa likod ng MVP at championship season ni Kevin Kiambao, dapat na rin ba siya mag-professional katulad ni Kai Balungay? Kasi alam naman natin, hindi malayong mabigyan yan ng isang lucrative offer. I'll begin with you, Ivan. 1 minute. Go!
I think na that's something na kailangan pag-usapan between him, his family, and of course, Lasal. Kasi we know Lasal is a powerhouse team in UAP. They want to be competitive. They want to win a lot of trophies. So having one of its star big men leave after a successful season will have to take a lot of convincing then. So if he wants to go to, let's say, Japan or Korea, that's something he has to sit down with Coach Topex and the stakeholders of the team. Kasi maybe, who knows, maybe they want him to stick around for a few more years. They want to contend for more championships. It's something that kailangan din niyang pag-isipan kasi it's not every day din na you get to play in the UAAP, and kailangan din niyang to think it over pa to make sure that he's not to make sure na kung naman yung piliin niya is something that he won't regret it in the long run.
Yan ang mabigat na word, regret. Ika nga. And I think you're coming from a point of view na the prestige of the UAP and of course winning a championship for your alma mater. Same issue, Luisa. Sa likod nitong pambihirang season ni Kevin Kiambao, ni KQ, MVP at of course nag-champion sila. Dapat na rin ba siyang mag-isip na mag-professional katulad ni Kai Balungay? 1 minute, Luisa. Go!
Sa tingin ko po, it's all gonna come down to what KQ wants to achieve more in his career with Lasal. Kasi as an outsider looking in, he's it all. Rookie of the Year, season MVP, champion, and finals MVP. Kumbaga, if you look at his career boxes, they're all ticked already here in the UAAP. But I think it all boils down to what he wants, on whether or not teams have been calling as well. Siguro at this point, it would be silly na for us to think na walang offers for a talent like Kevin Kiambao. But he hasn't really talked about it, no? Yesterday, he said that he's going to Japan, but bakasyon lang muna. Nagpapahinga lang siya doon, just to be clear. Setting the record straight. But definitely, that would be an option. I guess for him, it's going to be about where his priorities lie, especially with his family and with the team as well. At this point, naman, given what he did for Lasal, I don't think he needs to prove anything more or he owes anything more to anyone else except to himself.
And I guess yung keywords dyan, priority, and of course, taking care of the family. Alam mo, of course, one case that comes to mind is Jerome Lastimosa, who had an option to leave. Adamson decided to stay on and of course suffered that terrible injury na maaaring maging balakid sa kanyang mga pangarap na makapaglaro as a professional right away and even earn the big money right away. Meron namang iba nagsabi, katulad ni Carl Tamayo ng UP nung umalis siya, well, hindi lahat ng player na bibigyan ng chance para i-secure na ang future ng kanilang pamilya. At the end of the day, it is a personal decision by a player.
Yes.
As an Lasal alumni and supporter, I would say, loko-loko ka, huwag kang aalis. Because we want to win more Well, simple lang ang sasabihin natin dyan. Follow your dreams and of course, follow the money. All right, let's go to our third issue of the morning. Ito ang patungkol sa isa na namang end of an era kung saan nakita natin ang pagkapanalo ng UST Golden Tigresses kontra ang powerhouse na NU Lady Bulldogs sa UAP Women's Basketball. So ang tanong, gaano kalaki para sa women's basketball ang pag-dethrone ng UST sa NU? I'll begin with you, Luisa. 1 minute. Go!
I think it's very big, no, Com. We've heard NU talk about it. We've heard other teams talk about it, that for the longest time, the NU Lady Bulldogs were really the gold standard for women's basketball. And for the longest time, nakailang seasons, na talagang sa kanila lang yung magaling. And to see the rest of the field improve, it's just, putting big things for women's basketball. Wala naman tayong, alam din ng bawat isang team na when we have more competitiveness in the league, it's better for everyone. We really force each other to become better. And to see teams like UST and also UP just really climb the standings and be more competitive, talagang wala tayong masabi in a sense that we're already developing the future of women's basketball, and kaakibat na rin ng pagganda ng collegiate basketball natin ay pagganda rin ng national team program. So it's just all good. I think kahit matalo yung NU, I know that they understand what it means for the growth of women's basketball in the country.
Wow, well, talagang ika nga, it's the legacy that you leave behind. And of course, the standard that iniwan ng NU, hinahabol ng iba't ibang koponan. Ivan, same issue. Gaano kalaki para sa women's basketball ng ating bansa kontra sa NU sa UAAP finals? 1 minute, Ivan, go.
It's a big thing. It means that it's a wake-up call na rin for other schools that to say that, hey, we can do this. We can invest heavily on this, and there will be a big payoff then. And it will not only help yung schools but also the national field program. Early noong 2010s, it was always Coach Pat Aquino, the likes of April Bernardino, Jack Animam, na yung NU girls that would always help the national team rise to the ranks sa FIBA tournaments, women's basketball. But now you have teams like UP, UST, UEFU that also contribute. So a lot. It gives the program a lot more diverse picks, a lot more choices to choose from para na din sa not only for the UAAP but also for international setting like FIBA, SEA Games, and Asian Games.
Excellent. Alam naman natin kung gaano karami ng teams ngayon sa UAAP na i-involve. It's getting deeper and deeper. Itong Final Four nila, look at these teams. It was NU and of course UST. Ando ng UP and Ateneo. Ateneo coming in. Wala pa nga doon ang mga traditional powerhouses katulad ng FEU at ng LaSalle. So you can see that really women's basketball is coming of age. It's just a beauty to see. And of course, yung quality ng games plus yung dami ng mga players na nakababaihan. And I think it will augur well for our national team in the future campaigns. Luisa and Ivan, I hope to see you even before Pasko. But if I don't, maligayang Pasko sa inyong dalawa. At wag niyo akong kalimutan sa inyong mga pagkain. Miski wala ako doon, ikain nyo na lang ako. Maraming salamat sa inyong panahon.
Thank you, Kom. Maligayang Pasko.
Thank you, Kom. Thank you, Luisa. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Mga kaibigan, Luisa Morales ng Philippine Star and of course Ivan Suing ng Daily Tribune. Dami natin na pag-usapan and of course always a pleasure to have them on the show. Bago po tayo magpatuloy, isa muna pong paalala mula sa ating mga kaibigan sa Smart. Puso Pilipinas is a movement to celebrate the Filipino athlete powered by Smart. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And YouTube. Get a chance to win exclusive Puso Pilipinas merch by sharing their Facebook page and your social media accounts with hashtag Puso Pilipinas. The Giga Life app is the latest mobile app from Smart that lets you discover and enjoy your passions with the different Giga promos. It can be downloaded and used by Smart Postpaid, Smart Prepaid, Bro Prepaid, and TNT subscribers via the Apple or Google Play Store. What can the Giga Life app do for me? Check your balance, monitor your current subscription, top up using debit credit card, subscribe to the latest Giga promos, monitor your data consumption, auto-detect your mobile number when you are connected to Smart Network one-tap subscription to the most popular offer, Giga Video 99. And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live more today. At the other side of this break, ang ating pong makakapanayam ang bagong import ng NLEX Road Warriors, si Stokely Shafee Jr. Ito po ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Jux to Go at ng Arena Plus. Ang oras po natin ay hatid sa inyo ng M2 Tea Drinks with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay and fuel up on energy with M2 Tea Drinks.
I dare to dream big. to be a voice of my generation, to inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours with Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Sherry. Masarap. Malinis. Friendliest store crew. At higit sa lahat, healthy. Ang bawat manok ay laki sa alaga, hindi sa gamot. Garantisado, zero antibiotics. And that's the Chooks experience. Kaya mag-Chooks to stay na. Dito lang sa Chooks. Natagpuan mo na ba ang totoo sa'yo? 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Totoong abot na abot ang True FM saan man panig ng Pilipinas at sa buong mundo. Basta may Pilipino, sundan at ilike ang Radyo 5 True FM sa Facebook, TikTok, Instagram at sa X o Twitter. Dito na tayo sa totoo. True FM, tunay na kapatid, maaasahan sa radyo at online.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
May namiss ka bang mga shoot, pasa at hiyawan? Ngayon, hindi na! Dahil araw-araw mo nang mapapanood ang mga paborito mong sports program sa TV. Watch us on these channels. Free TV Channel 41, Signal TV Channel 6, Sky Cable Channel 59. One Sports! Ito ang go-to tambayan for your favorite sports programs. Dito ka na sa paboritong tambayan mo pagdating sa sports.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Emoji Nation Season 3, hosted by Maha Salvador.
Emoji Nation! More fun than you can emoji!
Sundays, 4:30 p.m. Tutok na sa TV5.
Broadcasting from the Radyo 5 studios in Reliance Street, Mandaluyong City, in Mega Manila. 25,000 watts of true broadcast quality. Mas pinalakas, mas pinalawak, mas pinalinaw na tunog ng AM sa FM. Ito ang 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Power and Play with Noli, Eala.
Muli po nagbabalik ang inyong kasalo tuwing Sabado ng umaga, ang Power and Play. At again, binabati po natin kayong lahat on this beautiful Saturday. You know, a lot of things are changing, evolving, especially in the PBA. And one of those teams that has tried to inject a little more energy, perhaps, a little more, new blood, just in order to buoy up their chances in the ongoing Commissioner's Cup is none other than the NLEX Road Warriors. And we're very happy to have with us today their newest import, replacing Thomas Robinson, of course, no other than Stokely Chafee. Hi, Stokely. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Great. It's so much. It's always a pleasure to have someone who's not only new to the show but also new to the Philippines. I know this is your first time in the Philippines, perhaps even in Asia. How do you like Manila in the first place?
Honestly, I'm loving it. I am loving Manila. I'm loving the Philippines so far. I know I just got here. Straight off the plane though, I knew it was going to be a place I like. It's really hot, really hot, but it's something I can get used to. But I'm having a great time here. The people are so cool.
Thank
cool
you.
here.
Well, it's always our trait to welcome guests with with the vigor and vibrance, and we're just happy that you're enjoying your initial stay so far in Manila.
A lot of vigor and vibrance.
It is your first time in Asia after having stints overseas in Europe. What is the biggest adjustment so far for you?
Honestly, the biggest adjustment so far has been the traffic. I've never seen anything like it. But honestly, like every time I'm driving out there, well, I'm not really driving, but every time I'm out there, it's just so interesting to watch how people maneuver the road. That's been the biggest adjustment being here. The people have been so welcoming. Like I feel like I'm at home in that sense, along with like the people.
Well, you'll get used to it. Of course, it'll be a while. I just hope you're not driving because it's chaotic in the streets, and don't even try it. Don't even try it.
Yeah, I feel like sitting there, I'm like, there's no way I could continue this driving by myself. There's no way.
Absolutely, it's not for the faint of heart. But Stokely,
no.
You are going to be playing. You are playing in the PBA. How did you hear about the PBA? How did you get the offer? And your reaction when you first heard that you were going to play in the Philippines in the PBA?
So I had heard about the PBA prior, just probably earlier this year, just kind of just understanding like overseas basketball and some of the best leagues in the world. And the PBA came up, but it wasn't like a league that I could always have followed throughout my life. And then over the last week and a half, we got a random call. It's actually Thanksgiving, and I'm spending time with my family in St. Louis. And we get a random call when my agent calls me and tells me, hey, this team is really interested in you. So it kind of happened like literally they called me Friday and I got on a plane Saturday night. I didn't have my basketball shoes. I didn't have my basketball gear. I didn't have anything. I was just like, okay, well, we're going to the Philippines. But it happened very suddenly.
That is some story, Stokely. On Thanksgiving night and just flying out immediately. You're not the first one, of course. A lot of imports have come at very short notice. Let me get this. You were in New Orleans, but you're really from California. You were born in Oakland, and you played for Tennessee State, of course. That was the team that you played in when you ended your career in the NCAA. Tell us a little bit about your journey in basketball, Stokely. How do you get introduced to it? And of course, how you was it always your dream to be a pro player?
Ever since I can remember. I mean, I don't have the most stereotypical basketball journey. My journey has been a lot of ups and downs, mostly downs, but we're getting really high up. Ever since I was 2, just living with my mom. My mom tells me the story about when I'm 2 years old and I have a basketball in my hand and I tell her, hey, one day I'm gonna buy you a motorcycle with this basketball. And I guess I was like 2 or 3. This is what she tells me. So it's always been like, ever since I was younger, just being in the situations I've been in, it's been like kind of an outlet for me. So it became more than just becoming a pro player. It became like therapy. It became like something I love.
Did you have family that played basketball, Stokely, when you were growing up?
No, I'm the first one in my family to play college ball. There's not really many people around me that have made it pretty far in basketball. My story is very, very different. Going into college, most people are drafted highly. I started off as a walk-on. I actually walked on to my first college, was the University of San Francisco.
San Francisco, right?
My freshman year, I was a walk-on. And then if you know United States basketball, being a walk-on is definitely one of the toughest things in the world. So shout out to all my walk-ons out there. Then I went to junior college my second year. Shout out to all the JUCO kids grinding it through there. That's a grind also. And then I went to Tennessee State. And that's kind of how my journey went. Started off as a walk-on, and we're in the PBA now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're of course now a journeyman. Plying your trade, of course, all over the world. Growing up in California and in Texas, were there any idols in basketball that you were emulating as you were trying to get your style in basketball, Stokely?
Yeah, there was a lot of people I watched. Well, first off, I'm from Oakland, so I'm a big Warrior fan. I love the Warriors. I love the Warriors. I love the Warriors since I was young. I actually got a jersey from Monte Ellis one time, but he had just lost, so he was kind of rude. He's kind of rude, but it was okay. He's still one of the coolest guys ever. But some of the people I love watching now as of recently would be like Paul George. Obviously love watching Kevin Durant, but Paul George is probably one of my favorite players to watch, period. Like he's so smooth and cool with the ball.
Yeah. And outside of basketball, Stokely, was there any other sport for you? What did you do outside of basketball?
All I ever really played was basketball. I did track. I did high jump before. I made it to state finals my first year high jump. I wasn't necessarily, I was good at it because I could jump high, but like I didn't have any form. I was just able to make it over. So I didn't look good going over, but because I could jump so high, I made it. I made it all the way to state. So track was it. I used to play football, but that was more like in the streets and stuff like that. But it was mainly basketball.
It was mainly basketball, and of course, you're following your dream up to now. You went, of course, undrafted in the NBA, although you did submit back in 2019, and you've, as I mentioned, played overseas. You've played in Cyprus, you've played in Finland, and now you're in the Philippines. How challenging is it to be an overseas player, an import for many countries, and of course, adjusting to the many different cultures and communities that you have been playing in?
It's definitely a challenge that's like no other. You kind of just have to leave your family, leave everybody. Like every country I've gone to, the 2 countries I've gone to, even the teams I've gone to in the G League, like it's like you're going to a place where you know no one, nobody's there that you know. And you kind of have to, it's like starting over every single year if you're going to a new team, a new country every single year. But it's cool in the sense that you get kind of immersed in different cultures and you kind of understand different types of living, different types of life. It kind of gives you more of understanding of where you are, where other people are, and how other people live, and how different it is, but also how the same we are together at the same time.
Well, and
so it's a challenge, but at the same time, it's definitely a blessing.
And of course, basketball is the thing that binds everyone. Sports, of course, always something that is common to many races and of course peoples. You played in Cyprus and you had impressive numbers. You played almost 37 minutes a game in your final year there, and you averaged 17 points on 51% field goal shooting, 11 boards, 3 assists, and about 2 steals. When you played in Finland, it's about the same. You played more games, 32 games there, and you averaged 16 on 55% field goal shooting, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. 2 to 3 games into the PBA, Stokely, how do you compare the leagues that you've been playing in?
There's a lot of differences, but there's a lot of similarities at the same time. There's a difference between like G League basketball and European basketball in general. But then when you go from like Finland to the PBA, the competition is a bit higher. a lot more physical in the PBA for sure. You have a lot of older, more IQ-wise, stronger players that have been in the league, that have been playing for a while, and they understand how the game is supposed to be played. Just a lot of veterans that have skin in the game. And that's always a challenge, especially me being 26 and you're going against guys that are 32, 34 plus,
Right.
and they've been through it. So it's a lot more physical. And I'm only 2 games in, so I'm still taking strides and learning. But I really enjoy it. I enjoy the competition here.
Would you say that the PBA is a good stepping stone towards building, confidence in your game, considering how many minutes you play in the game, as well as, of course, the veteran competition that you get in the PBA?
Definitely the PBA is one of those leagues where, like, if you're here, you can be here. It could be a stepping stone, or it can be a place where you land. I'm fortunate enough to come here at this time of my career and learn so much from the guys around me and the guys I'm playing against. It's definitely a great opportunity.
Yeah, well, you're joining a team, of course, as a replacement import for an NBA vet, Thomas Robinson, who had a little bit of a challenge staying on with the Road Warriors. But you are here. So let me ask you first, what do you like about your team, about the Road Warriors?
The guys are cool. The guys and the coaches are so cool. I really enjoy going to practice and being around those guys. They're competitive. They're not afraid. They're not afraid to teach you things, and they're not afraid to learn themselves. I'm one of the youngest guys there, and they don't treat me like I don't know what I'm talking about. They're willing to accept criticism, just like I'm willing to accept criticism, and they give out criticism. They've been very, very welcoming, teaching me the plays, telling me where I can do this and where I can do that, telling me the rules that I didn't know about. A lot of rules I didn't know about in the PBA that are different from other leagues. And then the coaching staff is great. They're very they're kind of laid back. They kind of let the players. They let the players make mistakes, and then they coach the mistakes, and that's the type of coach. That's the type of coaches that win.
Your first impression with Coach Frank Ilim?
Cool guy. He comes into the game. He comes into the game with these Jordan 3s on that were so cold. I don't know if I told him, but I was like, "Oh yeah, those are fresh." But he's a great coach. He's obviously a legendary guy out here.
Yeah. He is.
And you can kind of tell when you're in the gym with him, he knows. He's been around basketball for a long time. He doesn't really, he doesn't really say much. He hasn't gotten up in arms on us. He's very understanding. He kind of lets the players show their strengths, and then he coaches off the strengths. So I'm really enjoying being coached by him. It's an honor to be coached by him.
Coach Frankie has been around not only as a coach, as a player. He was legendary, as you mentioned, and of course he was also a team manager. So he has a lot of experience that I'm sure you will be learning from. You're replacing Thomas Robinson, as I mentioned, who, during his time here, in his 4 games in the PBA, averaged close to 35 points, 13 boards, about 2 steals and 2 blocks. Do you think there's more pressure on you replacing a guy with those impressive numbers?
Firstly, I would say shout out to that guy. That guy's a very great player. He what was he fifth overall pick at one point of his career. Great player. Watched film on him. Tried to learn things from him. But personally, I don't feel like there's a pressure because this team got me here for a reason, and they're willing to trust in me and my abilities. I know there's some things that I have to learn, and I'm going to learn them at this young age that I am. But I wouldn't say there's really there's not a negative pressure. There's more positive pressure just to continue to get better. That's all you can ask for.
Well, obviously this team needs a lot, and your team is struggling at the moment, particularly on in the middle. I know the Road Warriors are a bit challenged because of especially when you put them against the bigger teams in the league. If you were to be asked, what does Stokely Chafee bring to the team, and what specific role have you been assigned by your coaches?
Well, if you were to ask me that question, I would answer by saying, "What don't I bring to a team?" That's how I would answer, truthfully. Um, I bring whatever's needed to win. If you need me to go out there to rebound and only rebound, I'll go out there and rebound and only rebound. This team is asking a lot of me, and I'm willing to fulfill whatever shoes they ask of me. I'm athletic. I can guard 1 through 5. I can put the ball in the basket. I could take the ball off the rim. I can do a lot. So I'm excited to show that and continue to prove that. My role that this team has assigned me is just, I wouldn't say they necessarily assigned me a role. They kind of just let me get out there and just do my thing so far. And I think they're just trusting in my abilities.
Are you comfortable with that, considering that, here in the PBA, the foreign players, the imports, practically get, of the bulk of the plays, as well as, of course, the touches. And of course, a lot is expected from the imports. Are you comfortable with that role?
Yes, I am comfortable as of now. Not as of now. I will continue to be comfortable in that role. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to make mistakes or there's nothing I can learn. I am comfortable with that role, but I'm more comfortable in learning whatever the PBA has to teach me. So if I have to get 25 shots up, which I'm not necessarily used to, then that's something I will learn and that's something I will do. So I'm comfortable, but excited to learn.
That's exactly why I say, the PBA is a great, stepping stone, even learning ground, because really the foreign players get a chance to develop their skills at the same time while helping their team. Now, you debuted against one of the toughest teams in the Commissioner's Cup, Magnolia, and you talk about rebounding. You brought in 19 rebounds in that game, and obviously in your first game, that is mighty impressive. But in a loss, of course, adjustments were still happening there. You also committed a lot more turnovers than you had expected, I'm sure, because I'm sure you're trying to get to know your teammates. What kind of adjustments are you looking at, and what are you doing to help make it easier for all of you to learn your style and for you to learn their style?
Yeah, that first game out against the number 1 team. Not too many people know, but that was my first game in like a year, because the year before last season I actually tore my hamstring. So this is actually that was actually my first game back off an injury. So it was a lot of trying to understand like the pace, get my legs under me. But the adjustments and how we're making the adjustments, a lot of film. I'm watching a lot of film, trying to learn, trying to understand. I'm watching film of the games we lost before I was here, the games we won, the games we recently just played. So that's really helping me understand, okay, this is where these turnovers are coming from, and this is where my teammates are going to be and where they can be at the same time. So those are conversations we will have. So I'm making a lot of adjustments in that, using the film. Kind of trying to slow down my pace a little bit, because first game you kind of antsy, you just want to go, and I'm very explosive and athletic, so I have to, there's a lot of offensive. I think I got like 3 offensive fouls just because I'm moving too fast for my body. So we're definitely going to slow the pace down a little bit and just move with a purpose, and that just comes with time and learning. Well, those guards though were really good. Oh, the guards from Magnolia, one was Halolon. He was I think that's how you say it. Halolon. Yeah. He was defensive player of the year, and I can see why. He's really good.
He is really good. Part of the national team, of course, and one of the. He's a triple-double machine as well in the PBA. So LX is hanging on to a playoff spot right now. You're hovering around the 7, 8, 9 mark, which is good enough if you make the 8th place to get into the playoffs. How confident are you moving forward, seeing what you have? I know that NLEX was in a flux for a while because they lost their top scorer in Kevin Alas with a huge injury. And of course, BGR, Brandon Ganuelas Rosser, is just coming back. So how do you see your chances moving forward, Stokely?
I'm very confident in our abilities moving forward. It's very unfortunate that we lost Kevin. but praying for his speedy recovery and hoping everything goes well with him. Brandon is now with us, and he's playing, and I think these last 2 games were his first 2 games, and as soon as he gets right and we don't have him in foul trouble, I think we're going to be very, very hard to beat. That was our first games together, and we played the number 1 and pretty much number 2 team. And we showed that we have the skills to be there, especially this last game where we came back from that deficit and really showed what this team is capable of. And I think people can understand that, okay, there is fight in this team and they do have the skills. It's just a matter of, getting the reps together and just put them all together and understanding how we all feed and play off of each other. And once we figure that out, I think it'll be very hard to beat us.
Well, LX fans are, of course, hoping that this could be a breakthrough conference for them and for your team with Stokely Chafee around. Stokely, now that you're in the PBA, of course, you had played overseas, as I mentioned. But now in the PBA, what would be the barometer, the measurement for you of a successful stint here in the Philippines?
Just taking this team where we didn't believe we can go. I don't know what the stigma is around NLEX or what people are expecting of us, but I'm expecting us to go pretty far into the playoffs, and that would be successful for me. Not really the stats stuff; it's more of how well this team does.
All right. Well, of course, everyone is praying that you can adjust quickly. I know that you've not had enough practice time, and it will be a quick turnaround. But you're young, and I'm sure you'll be able to do that. You were undrafted, as I mentioned, in the NBA. Every player's dream is always the NBA. Is that still on your mind at the moment? And how do you feel? What do you think will get you to that particular point?
Absolutely. It's still on my mind. I truly believe I'm a player of that caliber. I had the opportunity right there in my hands. I was actually doing the G League with the Warriors, and we were gearing up for the Warriors, my favorite team ever. So it was like a dream come true, and we were gearing up, and then that's when the injury happened. And that kind of derailed things. So it was tough to have it so close right there in your grasp, and then it kind of just slip away off of things that aren't in your control. But everything happens for a reason, and I'm excited to keep moving on with this part of my career. And until then, I'm excited to be in the PBA, and I'm excited for what's upcoming in this season.
If that injury was the reason for you to be brought over to our shores, then certainly we are happy that you got that injury. But not here in the PBA. Just stay well. All right, before I let you go, you may be spending Christmas here. How do you plan to spend Christmas in the Philippines, Stokely?
Well, I'm learning that the Philippines loves Christmas. Everywhere I go, there's Christmas lights.
We have the longest Christmas season in the world.
Yeah, it's amazing. Honestly, I'm not really sure. I'll probably get like a little tree, probably like this big, and kind of just like put a present under there and open it myself or something. I don't know. Get some food. I guess we'll figure it out if I don't get to go home. We'll see.
No plans to bring your family in?
If they would like to, there was talks about having people come in, my girlfriend, my family, but it's all just timing and making sure everything works out. If so, that would be so cool if they got here.
Yeah, that would be really nice to have you, of course, with your NLEX team around for Christmas. Stokely, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck on your games, and we are looking forward to that quick adjustment that you can, and of course, the help that you can bring to NLEX moving forward, and hopefully coming through with a breakthrough conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Shout out to all the NLEX fans out there. I can't wait to go on this journey with y'all.
Thank you. Mga kaibigan, yan po si Stokely Chafee Jr., ang bagong import ng NLEX Road Warriors, where we're certainly hoping that NLEX can get that push, that boost from Stokely. It's been a rough few games so far for him, but who knows? Alam mo, mahaba pa naman. It's still a long conference, and of course, they're still hanging on to that hope of making it to the playoffs. And from there, you'll never know what can happen. All right, before we take a break, sumilip muna po tayo sa mga viral videos at pop culture sa mundo ng palakasan sa Stop and Pop.
Power and Play with Noli Eala.
Ang title po ng video natin ngayong linggo ay Good Boy. Nako, ano kaya itong good boy na to? Panoorin niyo po to. Nung nakaraan, nag-feature tayo ng aso na naglalaro ng volleyball. Ngayon naman, aso na goalie sa football. Wow! A goalie of a dog. He guards the goal really well at epektibo sa laro, si Good Boy. So that's what you call perfectly a special guard dog. Paano ba naman? Walang nakakalampas sa kanyang bola. Good boy para sa defending team, bad trip naman para sa kalaban. At yan din po, of course, ang ating stop and pop. Siya nga pala po mga kaibigan na gusto po nating i-welcome ang ating pinakabagong supporter ng Power and Play, and talaga pong it's a big honor for us to have with us in the Power and Play family ang Arena Plus. Mahilig ba kayo sa sports betting habang nanonood ng laro? Narito ang Arena Plus, manalo at manood ng live sport kahit saan. Arena Plus ang official sports partner ng PBA, MPBL at EASL. Kasama pa ang mga astig sa court na sina Jordan Clarkson at Scotty Thompson as official endorsers ng Arena Plus. Sa Arena Plus, astig sa sports. Keep it fun, game responsibly. Download Arena Plus app now in the App Store or Google Play. You can watch it also on arenaplus.ph. Sa Arena Plus, astig sa sports. And when we return more of Power and Play this Saturday, wag po kayong aalis with more interviews on this special Saturday edition. Ito po ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go, Smart at ng Arena Plus. Ang ating pong break ay hatid sa inyo ng M2 Tea Drink with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay and fuel up on energy with M2 Tea Drinks.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Sherry. Masarap. Malinis. Friendliest store crew. At higit sa lahat, healthy. Ang bawat manok ay laki sa alaga, hindi sa gamot. Garantisado, zero antibiotics. And that's the Chooks experience. Kaya mag-Chooks to stay na. Dito lang sa Chooks. Totoo sa paghahatid ng balita, impormasyon, serbisyo. Totoo sa'yo. 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Tutukan gabi-gabi ang malalimang pagsisiyasat ng mga napapanahong balita. Hihimayin ang iba't ibang anggulo para sa mas malawak na diskusyon at impormasyon. Samahan sina Ed Lingao at Mian Los Baños mula sa Frontline tonight, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, 10:35 p.m. sa TV5.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
25,000 watts ng totoong tunog ng FM radio. Totoong pinalakas, totoong pinagtibay ng mga batikang mamamahaya sa paghahatid ng news, public service, entertainment, music, information at inspiration para sa bawat kapatid, bawat Pilipino. Ito ang 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Power and Play with Noli, Eala.
At muli po, nagbabalik tayo sa Power and Play. Again, gusto po natin kamustahin lahat ng ating mga suki from all over Laguna po, lalong-lalo na sa San Pablo City and of course sa Los Baños, Laguna. Ang dami pong nakikinig at sumusuporta sa atin dyan sa mga lugar na yan. And talking about support, syempre ang Power and Play po ay hindi mangyayari kung wala po sa suporta ng ating mga sponsors at mga kaibigan dito po ng Power and Play. At gusto po natin pasalamatan, of course, ang Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Sa ganitong pabago-bago ang panahon, mga kapatid, mainit, biglang ulan at lalamig. Kailangan natin ng matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum. Kapag may aluminum, tsak na pang matagalan. At isa lang ang alam kong tikalidad na yerong may aluminum, yan ang Cherry Loom, tibay protektado sa pang matagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Cherry Tigo 5X Pro Hybrid. Elevate your driving experience with the all-new Cherry Tigo 5X Pro Hybrid, where sustainability meets functionality. Get ready to embark on a journey of fuel efficiency and power like never before. Imagine cruising down the road with the impressive 1.5 turbocharged engine paired with a cutting-edge 48-volt hybrid system. This dynamic duo not only delivers exhilarating performance, but also slashes fuel consumption effectively, making each mile a step towards a greener planet. The all-new Cherry Tigo 5X Pro Hybrid is also equipped with a 10.25-inch capacitive touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, full LED headlights, and double-row daytime running lights for improved road visibility, auto trunk release, 6 supplemental restraint system airbags, and a quiet cabin for more peaceful Cherry drives. To learn more about the all-new Cherry Tigo 5X Pro Hybrid, visit Cherry Auto Philippines' website at www.cherryauto.ph or visit your nearest Cherry dealership.
Thank you!
Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Subukan ang kanilang pinakabagong oven-roasted chicken na mas pinasarap dahil sa nag-uumapaw na flavorful chicken juice. Subukan ang harissa roast, sweet roast, at pepper roast. Try also Chooks, the first dine-in restaurant ng Chooks to Go. Chooks to stay with Chooks to Go. Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan.
Thank you!
True religion is in the Philippines, where passion meets power. Experience it firsthand. For your best style choices, visit True Religion at Conrad S. Maison, Mall of Asia Complex, Resorts World Manila, and Hacienda Designer Outlet Silang Cavite. True Religion, where passion meets power.
Thank you!
Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo. Super excited na kami sa pinakabagong super serbisyo ng Joyride Super App. Ito ang aming Joyride Super Taxi. Maganda at bagong sasakyan. Super luwag pa ng trunk space para sa inyong kagamitan. Full-time at professional na mga drivers. At pwede parahin at pwede ring i-book sa app. At higit sa lahat, walang dagdag presyo at dimetrong pamasahe. Isa na namang handog ng Joyride Super App para sa mga super sipag na mananakay na Pilipino. Super serbisyo ng Dimetrong kasundo. Yan ang taxi, yan ang Joyride Super Taxi. Available sa Metro Manila. 717 Deli, serving quality classic premium sandwiches. Treat yourself to a feel-good meal today. Located at 3rd floor, 53 Connecticut Street, Green Hills, San Juan. 717 Deli. Keep you smiling with every bite.
Thank you!
Arena Plus. Mahilig ka ba sa sports betting? Habang nanonood ng laro, narito ang Arena Plus. Manalo at manood ng live sport kahit saan. Arena Plus, ang official sportsbook partner ng PBA, MPBL at EASL. Kasama pa ang mga astig sa court na sina Jordan Clarkson at Scotty Thompson as official endorsers ng Arena Plus. Keep it fun, game responsibly. Download Arena Plus app now in the App Store or Google Play. You can watch it also on arenaplus.ph. Sa Arena Plus, astig sa sports. Skin, your face and body anti-aging center. With branches at Alabang Town Center and Green Hills, San Juan. For your skin assessment and treatment schedule, call 0917-890-1640 or 0977-809-8886. ASEA Subic Beach Resort. Experience the getaway that you deserve and dive into limitless happenings, rejuvenating experiences, and gastronomic adventures. ASEA Subic Beach Resort. M2T drinks with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay and fuel up on energy with M2T drink with malunggay, okra, and luya, your natural source of electrolytes. And Smart. Live more today. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng ating mga sponsors. Well, ngayon po mga kapatid, medyo gumigit na ang elimination round ng PBA Commissioner's Cup 48th season. And of course, nung bago po nagsimula, kinamusta natin ang PBA through Deputy Commissioner Eric Castro. Ngayon naman po, ang ating po makakapanaya mismo ang pinuno ng PBA, ang ating po kaibigan, si Commissioner Willie Marshall. Willie, magandang araw. Thank you for joining us.
Magandang araw, Commissioner paring Noli.
Alam ko, busy-busy kayo. Hindi ko pa ikaw nakakausap. Pamula nung nag-champion ang Gilas Pilipinas sa Asian Games. Alam ko, ikaw ay naging co-manager. Unang-una, ikaw ba ang lucky charm, Willie, ng Gilas? Kaya nag-champion ha?
Yan nga, kung yung sinasabi ko, miracle team yun. Talagang hindi namin na miracle team yun. Nakuha lang talaga sa tiyaga at sa dasal.
Well, ang dami naman talagang sumuporta and of course, nagsanip ng puwersa. Malaking bagay yun. And of course, siyempre, yung lucky charm mo, alam ko naman pag humimas ka, iba yun eh. Iba yung...
iba yung himas natin ko. Iba yung himas natin.
Pero itong tanong ko, Comedy. Anong impact nun sa pagkapanalong yun sa PBA?
Malaki. Alam mo naman nung Comca, di ba, na pag ang national team or ang basketball ay tumataas, mataas din tayo. Lahat ng mga tao gustong manood, gustong sumama mag-basketball, kabila. Kita mo, ang dami natin liga ngayon. Dahil nga dyan sa Asian Games. Pag ang basketball ay bumaba, sama tayo doon di ba? Alam mo naman yun eh. Yun doon ang hirap. So ngayon, na parang medyo nakaride pa tayo doon sa Asian Games. Kaya swerte pa rin talaga tayo.
Talagang swerte, especially considering na nanggaling tayo sa napakahirap na World Cup and of course lahat ng naging problema sa pagbuo ng Asian Games team. Kagaya na bagit ko kanina, Comili, nakausap namin si Deputy Commissioner Eric nung just before nagsimula ang season dahil alam naman naming napaka-busy ka. Of course, isa sa mga napag-usapan namin ay yung napakaraming pinapatupad na rule changes ng PBA. So, I guess unang-una, ano ang, before we go to specific rules, Comili, anong assessment ng Liga on whether or not naging effective itong mga pagbabagong ipinatupad nyo ngayong season na ito?
Yan. As of now, nakikita na namin yung mga changes, pero ikukumpana ko ulit yung mga coaches. Ano sa palagay nyo? Ano ba sa tingin nyo? Ano bang nakabuti sa atin? Saan tayo mag-a-adjust? So makita lang namin, na kung ano makakabuti sa liga at sa atin at sa television, yun ang gagawin natin. So may konting adjustment lang. Tingnan muna natin, by the end of the season, patago ulit yung mga coaches, anong suggestion, opinion nyo, komento nyo, para gumanda din naman ang takbo ng liga.
Yung specifically, tinanggal ninyo yung player timeout. And again, I think part of the reason ay para maihalin tulad sa conditions ng FIBA since marami sa ating mga star players ay naglalaro doon. So far, Comili, may feedback ka mula sa players? Ito ba'y nakakatanggap nila? Paano sila nagre-react dito sa hindi na sila pwede mag-timeout. Halimbawa, nung isang araw, actually, napanood ko yung Magnolia kontra Blackwater. Meron dong Rambo, parang nagkaagawang bola sa ilalim. Hindi maka-timeout talaga at very, kumbaga, jump ball na lang ang nangyari. So, nakaka-adjust na ba ang players? Hindi naman sila nagre-reklamo na sayang yung possession. Dapat amin yun.
Wala pa. May mga nagsasabi sa akin mga players, ang hirap ng walang players timeout kasi meron naman, okay yan. Diskarte mo yan. Talagang pinaghahandaan niya sa practice. Okay. Pero kasi kung may nakita tayo nangyari dun sa World Cup, may nag-timeout sa atin di ba? Na player natin na so kala nila may timeout, yung pala na 5 seconds tayo. So hindi naman natin pero isa yon na kung magdedire-diretso tayo sa FIBA, ba't hindi na natin dahan-dahanin kung anong ginagawa ng FIBA para masanay na rin tayo.
Alright, yung Coaches Challenge, binago rin nyo yan. Yung ngayon meron ng karagdagang isa in case na maging successful yung challenge ng isang coach. Ang natanong ko si Defcom Eric dati, tungkol sa mga technical enhancements. Dahil alam naman natin, pagka challenge ang mahalaga dyan, yung pag-review ng mga referees natin. Meron ka ba bang nakikita, Comili, na mga additional technical, enhancements, mga equipment, mga camera angles na gusto mong i-propose sa TV partner o di kaya sa ating technical committee?
As of now, yung ating technical, kasi nandiyan yung kung ano yung technology na ginawa sa World Cup, yung iba't ibang anggulo, kinuha, binigay sa atin ng TV5. So, kita na natin ang iba't ibang anggulo. Kita na natin na kung saan din ang posisyon ng referee na mali. Kita din natin foul o hindi. Lahat ng anggulo, kuha natin kahit taas, baba, walang kawala na sa atin. Wala ng rason ang technical committee na hindi namin nakita o ano. Ito lahat kita na.
So, wala nang rason para din, kumbaga, kung reviewable, magkakamali ang referee dahil talagang basta reviewable, makikita ninyo kung tama o mali yung tawag.
At isa pa, after, ginagawa natin, di ba? Post-game analysis, tinitingnan natin, mali hindi mo tinawag to, kitang-kita mo. Ba't mo tinawag to? Hindi naman tumama. Kasi kitang-kita na
mahalaga yung infraction subject to ejections. Yung 'di ba dati ngayon binago niyo na hindi na yung isang flagrant foul at isang technical foul ay ejected na. Ngayon nagkakaroon na kayo ng karagdagang pag-review bago to ma-eject. Ito ba sa inyong review nakabawas ng ejections? Pangalawa, mas madami bang nati-technical ngayon dahil alam naman nilang hindi naman kaagad matatanggal sila? Ano ang assessment so far ng technical committee?
Sa akin yung suggestion na yun kasi yung mga imports, pag may technical na isa, alam mo naman yung mga players natin, aasar-asarin ka, lalos bago ka, magagalit ka, mate-technical ka na naman, tapon na yun, sayang yung game. Sayang yung di ba, talo na to. Kaya ginawa namin pag tatlo, sobra ka na. So sabi ko, dagdagan pa natin ng isa. Dagdagan pa natin para sabihan, pag nakadalo ka na, import. O kaya player, nakadalo ka na So ganun na lang yan, nakakita ko. Kalimitan mga imports na natatapon. Na siguro, simula pa lang, bago pa lang.
Adjustment,
tama. Diba? So, hindi alam yung galawan dito. Tapon ng tapon. Sabi ko, dagdagan natin ng isa. So, as of now, okay naman. Hindi naman tinetake advantage sa mga players kasi pipinahan ko naman sila ng malaki.
Iyon ang maganda doon, Comili. Kasi dumadami ang technical na pwede mong i-fine. Lumalaki ang players sa educational trust fund.
That's fine.
Alright. Well, I have to say na maganda yan. Maraming innovations. Meron pa ba kayo nakikitang mga additional adjustments based on this? Or ito ba after na makapag-usap pa kayo ulit ng mga coaches and mga players?
After makapag-usap na ulit, assessment, sa players, tapos yung coaches, technical committee, anong makakabuti sa liga? Anong maganda sa liga? Anong pangit sa liga? Doon, before finalize na. Dahan-dahan natin yun. Parang na di ba, pabago-bago din naman eh, ang nag-i-evolve ang basketball. Dati walang 3 points, ngayon may 3 points. Dati walang penalty. So, tinitingnan natin kung anong makakaganda sa atin.
Alright. Well, hindi lamang maganda yan sapagkat para sa ating liga, kung hindi para sa basketball, in fact, ng NBA, kahit hindi nila aminin, ginagaya yung iba nating ginagawa sa PBA. So talagang it's good always to be, kumbaga, malikot ang utak. Talking about that, no? Medyo, ito, mawalang galang na, pero nakita natin, of course, ang ating live audience. At alam naman natin yan sa simula ng elimination round. Medyo madalang at lalong-lalo na yung nanonood sa ating mga venues, lalong-lalo na ngayong Disyembre dahil alam naman natin ang tindi ng traffic. Anong plano mo, Camille, with respect to this? Ano ang adjustments na nakikita ninyo? Ano ang siguro mga marketing innovations na pinaplano ng PBA?
Yun. In-adjust natin yung oras. Di ba dati, ito na yung oras natin, 5 to 7. Di ba? Maganda eh. Nag-trick kami. So in-adjust namin para makahabol din yung mga tao sa first game, tapos yung second game. Dati, 6, hindi na nanonood eh. Ngayon, i-adjust pa na natin. Ang problema lang traffic, ina-adjust na natin yung oras. Dahil nga, magsisimula tayo ng 4, tapos ang prime time, 8. Tapos sa television, naayos din namin, may plano, nasa table pa na mapalakas o mapaganda pa ang pagbibigay sa mga fans sa television. Yun ang abangan nyo.
May mga iba akong nababasa tungkol sa ticket pricing, Comedy. Anong totoo ba na mataas ang ticket pricing o sa tingin mo naman sa pag-aaral ninyo, tama lang?
Wala tayong tinaas, Com. Ganun pa rin nung dati, 2010, hindi tayo nagtaas. Pareho pa rin nung last conference, hindi nagtataas. Pareho din. Tingnan natin. Kung adjust tayo pero hindi tayo nagtaas.
Alright. Well, talking about yung TV na sabi mo nga merong adjustments na gagawin. Gusto ko lang matanong, Comedy, yung TV ba natin bago na itong kontratang ito? Kasi natanong ko to kay Defcom Eric, hindi niya masagot eh. Sabi niya, tanungin mo na lang sir kay Comedy, bago na ba itong TV contract natin?
Hindi pa rin. Ito pa rin yung kontrata. So, wala pa tayong pinipirma na bago.
Gano'ng katagal to, Comedy?
TV5 pa rin to, 5 years to. So, itong A to Z pumasok lang dahil nga doon sa oras na hinihingi natin. So, tinitingnan natin, wina-work out nila, siguro by next year, ibang platform o ibang mapapayahatid natin sa mga fans.
Ang alam ko nung araw, ang TV contract, merong component dyan na kailangan may free TV component. Yun nga yung sinasabi nyo ngayong A to Z. Ganun pa rin ba, Comily, ang kontrata ng TV5?
Tama. So, A to Z o kaya naka UHF yata o basta free TV, di ba? Katulad ng may 1 channel, 23 dati, di ba? Basta free channel kailan.
Alright. And ito pa rin yung old contract. So, kailan magtatapos itong old contract ng TV5 Comedy? Meron na bang ano yan?
Tapos na by last year, gumagawa na lang pala bagong kontrata. May agreement na eh. Pero wala pa final contract ko. Wala pa yung nilalatag talagang kasi inaayos pa nga itong A to Z, TV5, at yung ibang mga signal.
So parang hindi na nagkaroon ng bidding, in-extend na lang itong kontrata ng
In-extend.
Talking about that, yung A to Z, Comili, again, ito nababasa natin sa mga netizens natin, may mga iba nagsasabing, boss, malabo ata yung signal, parang snowy, parang hindi masyado malinaw. How is this being addressed ng PBA Committee?
Yan nga, nakakarating din sa amin yan, kung ano nakakarating sa iyo. Yun nga ang sinasabi namin. So, paano to? May areas na mahina, may areas na probinsya na wala pa nga minsan eh. So, sinasabi namin kung paano i-address. Kaya, i-address yan, by early next year. Tingnan natin kung anong improvement ang mabibigay ng TV5 sa atin.
Alright. Komili, isa pang topic na gusto kong puntahan ay of course yung bali-balitang expansion. Dahil kahit pa paano, just before the season, nabanggit mo rin yan, na maraming mga teams ang interesado. Una-una, ano ang status nito? At totoo ba to, Com? At meron ka bang mga hint dyan o clue kung sino pwedeng pumasok?
Last year ko, nasabi ko na din yata sa'yo na may kausap na ako. Matagal na, nag-uusap kami. Dalawang teams yun, pero mas agresibo yung isa. Biglang okay, biglang mawawala, biglang nandyan na naman. So, hindi ko matimpla kung ano ba talaga. Pasok ka ba? Interesado sa ng for his part ng mga usapan namin, all out siya. Biglang dahan-dahan. So, hindi ko matansya. Pero may dalawang may gusto. Sana, pero hinihit natin by end of this season, sana meron. Pero hindi na natin alam yung economy natin ngayon. Sana. Hindi ako
pwede ka ba magbigay sa amin ng konting patikim kung anong area? Hindi na kung anong company, kung anong area sila concentrated. Consumer goods. Consumer goods. Wow. Mukhang mabigat ito. Meron ba
Sana.
May timetable ba kayo? Meron bang pinag-uusapan ng PBA board timetable in terms of the expansion itself na okay, next year gusto natin magpapasok or 2 years from now, meron bang ganong klaseng usapan sa PBA board?
Sa akin, wala naman sinasabi sa akin ng board, pero sa akin, sana by next year or 2 years, meron na dapat tayo.
Bakit, Komili? Bakit yun ang timetable mo? Anong nakikita mong rason kung bakit kahit pa paano sana makapagpapasok tayo ng bagong team?
Kasi sa akin, as of now, maganda pa yung basketball ngayon eh. So maganda mong i-alok, maganda mong interesado pa yung mga tao tungkol sa basketball. So sana magdire-diretso. Pag nag-World Cup na tayo, o paano. Di ba? Parang tingnan natin itong advantage na to na maganda pa, mabango pa ang basketball ngayon. So sana makakumbinsi ako within this season or hanggang next year.
I want to also touch yung itong lipatan ng mga players, not necessarily yung exodus, but yung lipat lang sa PBA. And again, part of the discussion sa social media is yung tinatawag nating pagkakapantay, yung free agency, no? Meron ba kayong iniisip na paraan para lalo pang mapabalanse ang liga in terms of yung pantay-pantay ang mga team? Is there like maybe a salary cap innovation, luxury tax? I mean, may narinig akong ganyan kay Tinito Henson na one time nung kami nag-uusap. Meron bang gano'n na pinag-uusapan ng PBA board?
May nagsasuggest sa board niyan. So, at mga ibang team owners. So, tinitingnan namin yan kung makakaayos sa mga teams, kung makakatulong sa liga. At makakatulog din kung may taxes or may dagdag na fee, makakatulong din sa mga ibang teams kasi alam mo naman ang PBA parang clearinghouse lang eh. So makakatulong din na makakuha din ng ibang makakuha din ng mga ibang pondo yung mga teams para makakuha din sila ng magagandang players. Meron may nagsuggest niyan. So pinag-aaralan na.
Of course, ang basis noon ay yung salary cap na I remember before, nabanggit mo nga na pinagbabasihan ninyo of course ay ang ITR at of course ang mga sinasabit na mga teams. I wanna ask you because alam ko nung araw, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Willie, doon sa ating constitution sa PBA, at saka sa bylaws, meron diyang mga issues about meron pala provision kung paano kino-compute ang isang kinikita ng isang player para ma-compute yung salary cap. Kasama pa ba yun? Hindi ba binago yun? Yung endorsements, halimbawa, yung mga housing loan, yung mga endorsement contract, o even yung mga coaching ibinibigay, yan ba kasama sa pag-compute ng salary cap?
Nandiyan pa rin ko. Walang pagbabago. Yung commissioner ko dati, yung pa rin. Wala tayong baba. Ultimo tickets sa aeroplano. kasama.
Ganun. Okay. So talagang based on that, yun ang inire-report at para ma-monitor nyo kung tama ang salary cap natin.
Tama ko. Wala tayong binago doon.
Mikey Williams, up to now, may problema pa, hindi pa naglalaro sa TNT. Of course, alam ko na problema yan, internal ng kanilang koponan. Pero makikialam ba ang PBA? Hininga na ba kayo ng tulong ng TNT, Tropang Giga?
As of now, nagbigay lang sila ng position papers nila kung paano. Tinignan namin. Ang position natin, katulad pa rin ng dati, kahit anong mangyari, ang rights niya nasa token text. Ay nakailang taon o whatever, o pera magbago yung commissioner. Magbago din yung sistema ng PBA. Pero ang rights pa rin nasa token text. Kung hingi sila ng tulong, bakit hindi? Kung makipag-usap si Mikey, open tayo. Parang nang sa'yo, ganun pa rin tayo.
Well, I remember nung panahon natin, of course, kung really si Alex Cabagnot, nagkaroon ng ganyang problema with Santa Lucia. At of course, ayaw niya maglaro ng panahon na yun, despite the fact na binigay na sa kanya yung maximum na pwedeng ibigay. In this case, I'm assuming, at hindi ko naman alam talaga kung ano nangyayari, but na maximum na ang binibigay kay Mikey Williams. Wala ka bang, may gagawin ba kayong hakbang na, oy Mikey, wala ka na mahihingi, pigang-piga na yan, maglaro ka na, or else you will not be allowed to play in the PBA anymore. Meron ba kayong tinitingnan ng ganyang klaseng galao, Comili?
Yun nga ako. Alam naman siguro ni Mikey o ahente niya na talagang nasa token text siya. Hindi siya makakagalaw eh. Hindi siya makakagalaw hanggang walang gossip na lang token text. O trade o makakalaro sa iba hanggang walang gossip na lang token text. So nandun lahat ang desisyon kung anong gustong gawin ng token text sa kanya. Nasa kanya.
Malaking ba? Of course, alam natin kung gaano kalaking star si Mikey Williams at malaking bagay yan sa paghatak ng mga fans, of course, sa panonood ng mga TNT games. Talking about hatak ng fans, ang lakas ng hatak, of course, patuloy ng out-of-town games ng PBA. Comwilly, basically, it's even a saving grace pagdating sa ating attendance. Alam natin that you do this on a weekly basis now, pero hindi nyo ba napag-uusapan na baka gold mine ito kung tayo maglalaro ng iba pa nating mga araw sa out of town? Is there any move towards that end, Tom?
As of now, yun pa rin. Every Saturday tayo, tingnan natin. Kasi kung mahirap dito yung logistics ng TV.
Of course.
Tayo, walang problem. Ginawa nga natin to, di ba? Martes, laro, pahinga ng Merkules, laro ng Webes, pahinga ng Beres. Ginawa natin Luzon hanggang Mindanao. Tayo dalawa, di ba? Yung panahon mo, laging out of town tayo ng out of town. Nagsimula tayo sa norte, natapos tayo sa south na. Halos sa Davao na. Diba? Tuesday laro. Babayahin tayo ng Wednesday. Laro ng Thursday. Babayahin ng Biyernes. Laro ng Sabado. Yun lang nahihirapan lang yung logistics ng television. So, tingnan natin.
Ang hinaing, of course, ng tao, more ng out-of-town games. So, again, hopefully, mas marami pa, lalong-lalo nanguli na sila nung panahon ng pandemic. Camille, I have a few questions left here. EASL, medyo parang ang ating mga kupunan ay nagsa-struggle. And again, as I mentioned kanina sa ating show, siguro dahil nga doon sa nasa loob ng season, minsan one import lang, tapos sa EASL nagiging dalawa. Are there any adjustments na tinitingnan ng PBA para lalo pang matulungan ang ating mga teams na nagre-represent sa atin sa EASL at mapaganda yung kanilang performance doon?
Oo, 2 imports na. Tapos nag-suggest si Governor Bill Pamintuan ng Meralco na magkaroon ng Asian import. Matagdagan ng Asian import.
Okay.
So tingnan natin. Siyempre gusto din natin mapalakas, gusto din natin makasabay din dun sa mga kasama natin dito sa Asia. So, baka maglagay ng Asian import.
Kailan ito, Comili? Anong timetable nyo dito sa Asian import, if ever? Although nagawa niya na ito dati, nagawa na ito ng PBA, no?
Asian import plus 2 imports. So, inintay lang namin ng EASL ano bang regulasyon nyo, ano ba tinuturing nyo sa isang import, paano, anong proseso. Hinintay lang namin yun, pero umokay ang board sa isang.
So this is only para dun sa team na maglalaro sa EASL? Alright. Okay. Well, that's good. Good news yan para sa mga susunod na laro dahil syempre, kahit pa paano gusto naman nating manalo at of course nandun tayo sa finals ng EASL. Christmas Day, malapit na, Komili, at yan ang inaabangan ng mga fans dahil alam naman natin, pagka Pasko, lalo-lalo na pagka after the Christmas lunch, wala nang ginagawang tao. Ano ang plano? Ano ang mga maaasahan ng fans natin?
Wala pa rin tayo pagbabago ko. Maglalaro tayo sa Pasko.
Yun!
Pag hindi ako nagkakamali, Ginebra versus Talk and Text.
Wow! Wow!
So, may laro tayo. Kasi nagagalit na, minsan tayo hindi naglaro ng Pasko, nagalit, nabasa PBA. Yan lang ang aming panahon. Para so, lagi nang may Christmas game talaga.
Alright, well, magandang balita po yan, mga kapatid. May Christmas Day game according to Com Willie. At yan ang handog, of course, ng PBA sa inyong lahat. Well, marami pa tayo sanang gusto pa. But gusto ko, alam ko na marami kang kailangan tapusin and of course, kausapin. Com Willie, patuloy kami magmo-monitor and of course, alam mo naman na ang support ko sa iyo ay always. Kaya mabuhay ka at magkita-kita tayo sa mga laro. Alright, maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat. Mabuhay ka.
Ang ating pong ilalagay ngayong araw pong ito sa In the Spotlight ay walang iba kung hindi ang kahihirang lamang, ang kakakoronahan pa lang na UST Growling Tigresses. Sila po ang nagtuldok sa dynasty run ng NU Lady Bulldogs with a masterful 3-game series win kontra sa NU sa katatapos lamang na UAAP Women's Finals sa basketball ng season 86. At maswerte po tayo na ngayon ang ating mga kasama, walang iba kung hindi ang head coach ng UST Growling Tigresses, si Coach Heidi Ong. Kasama niya po ang, of course, ang MVP, si Tantoy Ferrer, ang nagpapanalo para sa UST, si Nikki Villasin, at ang isa pang significant member ng team, si Anime Taki Takatak. Magandang araw, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Coach, kamusta ka na? Long time no see.
Com, thank you for inviting us here. Maraming salamat. Ang tagal na nating di nagkakamustahan. I miss you and thank you for having us here.
Congratulations to all of you. Wow, what a historic victory. Isipin nyo, ending a 7-year run ng NU on a comeback of a game and of course a fantastic season. So let me begin with this, no? Bago tayo pumunta dun sa actual title game, when you look back at this season, Coach Heidi, and you look at the season, yung mga nangyari sa inyo, pati sa team mo, did you think that this was the season that UST would end its 17-year title drought?
Pagpasok namin kasi sa season 86, sabi ko sa mga ladies na we will treat this season one game at a time and do our best every time we step into the court. I think yun yung naging susi rin namin. We don't look at the future bright ahead na kailangan nasa Final Four kami, dapat nag-finals kami. So, from the first round up to the second round, ganun yung mindset namin na we treat this one game at a time and do our best as a team.
What do you think, Coach, turned this season around for you? What gave you confidence, especially sa composition ng team mo and of course yung naging preparation nyo for season 86?
Season 85 talaga kasi medyo maraming injured players. Nandyan na si Tantoy who had her ACL so hindi siya nakapaglaro. Kent Pastrana last year served her residency transferring from LaSalle. And ito siguro yung mga small puzzle that we needed for season 86. si Tantoy and Kent entering the lineup for season 86. I think ito yung mga puzzle that we need, and of course yung mga rookie namin for season 85 had a 1-year experience, so medyo malaking bagay yun for us.
Let me ask you, Tantoy, of course, balikan natin yung nakatatapos yung season, wag muna yung Final Four as well as yung title game. When I look at the record, nanalo kayo ng 3 sunod, tapos 2 sunod na talo kayo, back-to-back losses kontra FEU at UP. And then you won 8 of your last 9, including a loss, of course, against NU. Anong natutunan nyo doon sa elimination round na yun that made you believe na kaya nyong mag all the way dito, Tantoy?
Parang kami, especially ako, parang naniniwala talaga ako na kaya talaga namin talunin yung NU. Lalo na kita ko naman sa practice, the way kami mag-execute everyday sa practice, and then the way sila coach ng game plan, kung paano namin matatalo yung NU. Talagang naniniwala kami kila coach na, and sa teammates ko na kaya talaga namin talunin yung NU.
Siyempre, sabi nga nila, laging karanasan ang mahalaga. And siguro, Nikki, I'll ask you about that. Do you think championship experience played a big part, in this finals? Was that a concern of yours, considering that NU has had so much of that in the last 7-8 years?
It really wasn't, only because I've been in situations where, last season we cut short, and then I've also been on other teams where we have won the championship, and I've just learned through experience that anyone can win a ball game. The game's different every single time, and depending on how the team will show up, anything can happen. So it was nice that NU was prepared, and they were coming off a 7-year experience, but ultimately it just came down to how the cards were going to play that day and how prepared we were.
Let's go back, Taki, dun sa season ninyo, no? Pagdating nyo sa Final Four, you had the twice to beat advantage against UP, but you lost that advantage in game number 1. Anong mindset ninyo after that loss? And how do you overcome yung pagkatalong yan, yung pressure at saka yung adversity? Paano yung in-adjust ang mindset ninyo doon, Taki?
Yun nga, after that loss, parang sinabi namin sa mga teammates namin na hindi pa tapos yung laban. Kasi we prepare for this and alam namin na kaya namin talagang mag-champion this season. So,
well, alam natin na malaking bagay yun, and of course, I think that is a learning experience going into the finals, just overcoming yung fear na yon. But Coach Heidi, in the title series, you were facing a 7-time champion na kayo ay hindi pa nananalo in a 20-game, 11-year losing streak kontra NU, according to the stats, of course. When you look at that, yung ba ay more of fear when you face it or motivation pag fini-face nyo yung ganyang klaseng odds?
I started kasi sa UAAP 2016 eh. I'll give you a little back. NU is like way ahead of their program. Sabi ko nga sa admin ng UST, like we're like 3 to 4 years late or behind NU, and we need to put some pieces in order for us to lessen the gap ng NU. And slowly but surely we did that. We recruited the right talent, the right student athletes for us. And nung first round, we lost to NU, and then second round, we lost to NU by overtime. And I think nafe-feel ng team na this time around, we can really beat NU for this season. And nung game 1, we did that. Game 2, it was a close game also. And then game 3, yun nga, it's history. First time in 17 years for UST.
Wow. And clearly, hindi kayo nasindak at hindi nyo ininda yung odds that were facing you. Nikki, let me ask you, what was the message of Coach to all of you you know, when you began the title series, knowing these kinds of odds, when you were, you know, you had an 11-year losing streak to this team. What was the kind of message that you got, and I guess how did the team come together?
You know, coach just always reminds us that it doesn't matter what the score is, to always just keep fighting all the way till you hear the buzzer, and to just stick together. Like, one of our team quotes is BTS, and it just really comes down to like surrendering to the team and surrendering everything that you can't control to God. And what we can control is what's going to help us, you know, come back from a 16-point deficit. So that was really the biggest advice that coach gave us, is to always keep fighting.
Well, you know, it cannot get any better than that, of course. When you're facing all those tough odds, it's always good to have a coach that gives you all that confidence. I want to ask Taki, let's go to game number 3 ng finals. Behind kayo ng even as early as in the 4th quarter na. You were down by 14. Even with the game winding down, you were still down by 9 nung panahon na yon. Naisip mo ba na hindi na kaya? Did you ever feel na medyo malabo na to?
To be honest po talaga, hindi po namin talaga yun. Hindi ko po yun na-feel from the start pa lang po ng game, kahit na ilan na po yung lamang ng NU. Never po talaga pumasok sa isip po namin na natalo na kami. Kasi alam talaga namin sa puso't isip namin na kaya po talaga namin manalo during that time.
And of course, Tantoy, ikaw ang naging isip at puso nung huling mga minutong yon at stringing up points dun sa game number 3. What turned it around? Ano ang naisip mo nung mga panahon na yon, and what gave you all that strength, para humabol against NU?
Yun nga, nung nalamangan na kami ng NU during 4th quarter, like parang sabi ko rin sa kanila na kila coach na yun nga, parang ginagawa ko rin naman sa practice na tumira sa 3 at nasushoot yung mga tira ko. Paano pa kaya kung gawin ko rin naman sa game? Talagang all out naman ako sa practice for sure. 100% sure ako na talagang papasok yung mga 3 na bibitaw ko, and yun naman, pumapasok din. Kaya talagang ang laking kumpiyansa. Doon kami naganahan yung team na talagang kayang-kaya namin humabol sa 16 points hanggang sana daw na namin hanggang ng all 69.
Oh, well, yeah, again, it was a miraculous comeback, napakagandang paghahabol, and you know, a lot of people are really surprised, of course, about the resilience nitong team na to. And when you look at that, coach, ano sa tingin mo ang advantage at disadvantage nyo nung game number 3 against NU?
I think yung advantage namin as a team is yung speed namin and quickness over NU. Ang disadvantage namin because NU has a bigger lineup. We're usually out-rebounded every time we face them, no? I think yun yung nasolusyonan namin this game 3. We were not out-rebounded. Walang masyadong second chance points yung NU. And I think yung breaks of the game mas gumanda in favor of us during the last 1 minute. We made some crucial stops nung last 1 minute, and that spells the difference. And of course, yung timing talaga nung habol namin, if that yung rally namin went earlier and it gave NU a little bit more time, 'di ba? So I think in God's will pa rin siguro that something happened and the championship was given to us.
In other words, everything came together at the right time. And of course, when you talk about the right time, Nikki, that pass of Rosell was perfect. I mean, you know, and you made that layup and that go-ahead basket. Can you describe to us that very moment, you know, what was going through your mind and that winning shot when you saw that there was a botched play on the other end? What was going through your mind? Were you begging for that pass?
Everything was just in flow. Like, even if you replay the film, it was like, I think the maximum dribble that was taken was one power dribble by Rosell, just to get her enough for the ball to be pushed up ahead. So the ball just went through the hoop perfectly, just because of how well my teammates were able to push the ball up. And it was like a very unselfish moment for everybody, but it was more a relief when it went in. Like, it was like I knew it was gonna go in, but then when I saw it go in, it was like I had this like epiphany moment that I was like, oh my god, we just won the championship. So it was a really good thing.
Well, those things always race through your mind, and when you look back, then it looks a little less complicated. But obviously, at that time, even a simple layup could have been missed, and obviously, again, the resolve and the heart of stone. See, Camille Clarin was a monster, was a thorn on the side of UST noong game 1 and game 2. Pero noong game number 3, talagang nadepensahan ninyo. Was that obvious? I mean, game plan ba yun? O talagang tinarget nyo ba si Camille? And how did that impact the game ng UST?
Yun talaga po yung game plan namin na sinasabi nila, coach, na parang i-minimize talaga yung score ni Clarin, kasi nung game 1 tsaka game 2 siya talaga yung top scorer ng NU. So yan, sobrang happy kasi na-stop namin siya.
Well, of course, napakalaki niyan, and that was part of the factors, I guess, in game number 3. But of course, Tantoy, finals MVP, gaano kalaki para sa yan? How significant is that for you? And coming in a championship season para sa'yo?
Parang sa finals MVP, parang sa akin kasi bonus na lang po yung makuha ko yung award nun eh. Like, parang yung sinasabi yun nga po yung sinasabi ko kay Coach Heidi, like maglalaro ako para sa kanya, para sa UST, and para sa teammates ko. I-all out ka lang talaga every game, and yun nga, parang nakita naman siguro lahat ng hard work and sacrifices ko, at na-award ako as a finals MVP.
Coach Heidi, I've known you for so long, at alam ko naman kung gaano ka kasipag magtrabaho, and of course all of your plans and dreams and all of your achievements in the past. When you compare this championship for UST ending a 17-year title drought, where does this championship rank for you?
Oh wow. That's a tough question. I think this one is extra special, not only for my alma mater, of course, no, but the 17 years na walang kampyonato ang Espanya. That's extra special for me to bring another one to my alma mater. Of course, alam mo naman yan, malapit rin sa puso ko when you called me as your national team coach ang bansa natin. So, I think pantay lang sila, Kom.
But syempre iba rin naman ang personal achievement and of course ang paglilingkod para sa bayan. But still, what a wonderful achievement for you. And I'm so happy na talaga namang nadagdagan na naman ang achievements mo, and of course the feather in your cap. Nikki, all eyes will be on you in the next season, obviously in season 87. What will it take to repeat? Kasi we know that in the women's basketball, many teams come up with several championships, and we've seen that with NU. What will it take for UST to make it back to the title, the championship round, and win another title?
This is actually my last season. This is yeah.
So what do you think what do you think will your teammates need to do in order to repeat?
They already know what to do. They just need to, stay consistent, stay together as a team, and really just put in that work in the off season, and continue building that self-confidence, and being physical, working hard, listening to the coach, and just really sticking to the UST core values that we have as a team, and they'll do just fine, and probably even better next year. I'm just glad I was able to be a part of it this year.
And I'm sure it is something that will end your career in the UAP on a high note.
Yes.
Tantoy, your plans moving forward? Anong plano mo para sa iyong sarili?
Yung plan ko siguro po, magde-defend pa ako ng Season 86 3x3 and second sem may U-up pa kami 3x3. So parang focus muna ako doon, focus muna kami doon sa kung ano yung game plan namin sa 3x3 and syempre i-defend namin kasi kami yung defending champion eh.
Alright. And of course, Taki, alam natin na aside from a championship this season 86, na-break nyo yung tie ninyo with FEU as the most number of championships sa women's basketball sa UAAP. Anong pakiramdam nun, Taki?
Siyempre po, sobrang saya po kasi after how many years po, hindi namin hinihintay yung championship na to and finally po, nakamit na po namin. Siyempre, credit sa mga coaches po namin, sa mga teammates po namin, lahat po na tumulong sa amin sa USD community. Kay Father Rodel, sa lahat po. Sobrang grateful po kami sa kanila.
A lot of people helped, of course. Maraming tumulong and of course, marami pang tutulong. And we talk about that as a final parting shot here, Coach Heidi. Nasaan ngayon ang UST program? Where is it? And of course, how is the program going to be next year? How many are leaving? Sino mga bagong recruits? And how do you plan to repeat? How do you plan to defend?
This is the last year of Nikki and Tantoy for the 5x5. Nasa pipeline na rin naman yung mga papalit and hopefully it will help to defend our crown for season 87. For me naman, alam mo, we wanted a team na parating competitive every year. So the program and the culture will remain the same. The core values of the team will remain the same. We will stick with our player development program pa rin, not relying more on the recruitment. We have the high school program as well. So lahat nakalatag na yung programa para sa USD. It's a matter of, sabi nga nila Nikki, nila Tantoy and Taki, is always to be consistent, work hard, yung disiplina nandyan, and I think UST will be a competitor every year.
Well, sabi nga, marami nga nagtatanong, is this the start of a dynasty? Well, of course, you've got to repeat first before we start talking about dynasty. But one thing is sure, the UST program is back and it's alive and you have a crown to defend. And I'm sure with Coach Heidi and the rest of the management of the school supporting, walang pupuntahan pa kundi paakyat palalo ang UST Growling Tigresses. Coach Heidi, Nikki, Tantoy, Taki, thank you so much for joining us today. Congratulations again on your historic victory and good luck sa susunod na season. Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Mga kaibigan, ang miyembro po ng champion team ng UST Growling Tigresses na nanalo po ng season 86 championship ng UAAP Women's Basketball, ending a 17-year title drought and of course putting a stop sa NU's dynasty ika nga sa women's basketball. Grabe ang mga kwento po talaga ng tagumpay at ng nagsisimulang era at nagtatapos. Ganyan talaga ang sports and that's why we all love to play the game. Alright, bago po tayo magtapos, gusto ko pong i-announce lamang ang mga nanalo sa ating Joyride Top Up promo. Ito po ang mga nanalo ngayong araw pong ito ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits mula sa Joyride Super App. Si Martha Pontillas, Mary Ann Salen, Eliza Francisco, Ronel Saclapus at si John Michael Ramos. Congratulations mula sa Joyride. At ang nanalo naman ng limited edition Aqua Flask ay sina Lalaine Rebuta and yung rider niya na si Ronel Chamson. You both win the Joyride limited edition Aqua Flask. Well, mga kapatid, that'll do it for us ngayong araw po na ito. Again, magsama-sama po tayo next week for more stories and more features. Lagi po natin sinasabi tuwing Sabado, bawal lang masungit at sa lahat po ng ating gawain sa pang-araw-araw, ad maiorem Dei gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH, teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Susunod na po ang inyong paboritong inay ko po. Happy Sports Weekend mga kapatid! More power, more play!
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at huwag magpatalo, ipag-iwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulo, Chumbe, Sibay, Lakay, Amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa. Sa kapwa ko Pilipino.